Good, how are you?
Where's your student teacher?
She's not here yet. Sure. Want to do it? Only if you want to.
Wrestling's fun and easy. At least on Milford ones.
We've got it done.
How's things, man? So no one told other places they can figure it out. This is really. forward to this duel, and then what I got told a few minutes ago, I'm not looking forward to it as much. No, they're going up there at Maple Mountain.
Is this the local?
Yeah. Man, there's going to be a pretty big tournament. I think Juab's going to end up there. They're going to drop out of the north. And Millard's going too. Millard's going there too.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for guarding the mug.
That was a golden opportunity for me to hide it somewhere.
He gets hit all the time. His wife paid a kid $10 to hide it at an FFA conference. It gets hidden almost every day at school.
Nice.
My FFA kids. The things they've done to this mug. We were going down to get pictures, so I went and put on a shirt and tie. I'm driving down to Flowell, pictures by a cornfield. I'm trying to drink. I couldn't get anything. One of the girls took an apple and went chin, 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 and filled the whole straw full of apple and then pushed it down in. I have this. The amount of things that get put in here, apples, Pringles, a girl, J.D. Kane's little sister, Dakota, she opened a bag of shelled sunflower seeds, flavored, and dumped them in there. I start drinking it, and it's like strong. And all of a sudden, I start getting those in my mouth. So I'm just eating them. Those little devils.
You know, I hear about people putting peanuts with Diet Coke.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of the same thing.
it is. So they torment me every day. You know that. But that's all right. I love it. Oh. Well, every night I have something to go to at school is good. Because from 8 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning, I just cry. I miss my wife so bad. Buried my wife 3 weeks ago. Is what it is. I went up to go to, I didn't even look at my recommend. I went to go to the temple. And Dr. Shamu, yeah, he was there. And my recommend was out, you know me, hell. And so they brought him up. And so we went in this little side room and talked for an hour. It was really nice. He said, I'm really impressed to tell you some things. Because he says, you really had a bad couple of years. He knows me pretty well. And so he said, I said, so I got her baptized and endowed, but I never got sealed to her. Because I'd using it as a reward. I said, you got to go a year. And she'd make like 8, 9 months. So he says, well, she's sober now. So I'm going to get sealed to her here in a couple of weeks. So.
We'll get our JV matches tonight kicked off with from Millard, Kaden, Fals, and from Delta, Wyatt, on deck will be from Millard, Mason Adams, and from Delta, Cole Bailey.
Okay, we'd like to welcome you out here to the Palladium this evening as Delta is hosting the Millard Eagles here for the wrestling match. We're excited for the JV to get started here. I am Chad Warnick, and I'm joined with Zach Taylor here helping with a little bit of the color commentary as well as the action on the map. So looks like there's a lot of matches that we're going to have both for JV and varsity. So it's a full night. So if you haven't got here, make your way over to the Delta Palladium, and varsity will start at 7, but we'll probably, I don't know, we could go all the way until then.
Yeah, with this many matches, it's definitely going to take a little longer than normal. So hopefully, bout ready looks like still waiting on one to come out, but get started here in just a minute.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his headgear that he's putting on, and he's walking out to the mat, so we should be able to go. Our official for this evening is Andy Nilsson. We appreciate him making the journey out to Delta to officiate. He did the girls earlier, and he'll be doing both the JV and the varsity tonight. Our match this evening to start it off is Kaden Fals and Wyatt Harris. They're wrestling at 165 pounds. Fals is actually 157. I think Wyatt Harris bumped up. We have a sick Carson Nilsson, so he's going to be doing some duty both on JV and on varsity.
I saw him out in the hallway, and he's pretty excited about that first time getting to come out of the tunnel later tonight on his varsity match, and pretty excited for a young kid to get a chance to do that.
Yeah, Fals Millard, he gets the takedown early in the period. You know, Harris, he had a good week. He went to the Tinnick Battle at the Mine last week, and I believe he ended up second there. So he's really made a big improvement this year as a sophomore coming up. Fals looks like he's trying to keep working up there, almost trying to get a half Nilsson, but wasn't able to make it work, so it goes 2-on-1 on the wrist. Nearing the edge of the mat as we get to about 40 seconds left to go in this first period.
Looks like got a Millard with a technical violation on blocking hands, so that'll be 1 to Delta.
.30 seconds to go as Harris comes to his feet, working hands. He gets the 1-point escape, so that makes it 3-2 in favor of Fals of Millard. Now we're off to the side. You can see that the Millard bench is full. They've got the varsity and JV all kind of hanging out over there watching the matches. Okay, Harris of Delta, he's going to choose bottom to start the second period.
You got ages on these boys?
Yeah, Harris, he's a sophomore. Last year he wrestled with the junior high and placed third at the state tournament. I don't have the ages on these Millard kids. Well, maybe I do.
Kaden Fals is a junior.
And he has a track wrestling record of 10-20 on the season. I don't have Wyatt's. I've got Millard's, but Deltas, for whatever reason, aren't showing up in the track wrestling app.
Such a wonderful thing, that technology, to look it up, and then for some reason, half the time it just doesn't work when you want it to.
Yeah, you'll see some kids in the state tournament with a record of 45-3 on the season, and other kids with a record of 0-2, and they meet each other in the finals. So we passed the 1 minute mark of the second period. No change as Fals of Millard holds on to his lead 3-2. Harris started on the bottom. He needs to use this opportunity for a scoring opportunity as Fals tries to get a half as Harris tries to sit out, goes back.
Fals is just riding that 2-on-1 on a wrist. And such an overrated thing. You can control anyone in just a long time with just holding 2-on-1 on a wrist.
Yeah, and he's also using his head to help push the head of Harris down, which also makes it harder. So he looks like he's trying to pull him back, but unable to. This is the opportunity right now as he's finally got pressure off. 10 seconds to go.
Jimmy said I don't have any wrestling practice today, but I actually do.
Fals going to elect to start on bottom here at the start of the third.
Yeah, he's still up 3-2. So Harris, who was unable to escape in that second round, needs to take this opportunity while he's on top and needs to get some points. But he's doing a good job of keeping Fals down as he now builds his base up. No change yet. A little probably technical violation there. He's using that elbow. He's trying to get that head away to push him off, but maybe a little too hard and into the face. And they're going to give it escape. So between the two, he now trails, should be 5-2 if they make the correction. But I think that, that's not even a bad thing, because then if Harris was able to, well, he's not going to, but
With 3-point takedown, that's about perfect. But with that 3-point takedown, points can swing the other way really quick as well.
Thank you.
well, Harris has been stubborn, not been turned. Maybe I need to stop talking.
That's all. Curse the announcer.
Yeah. Harris hasn't pinned. What if I say that? Will that change it? So
Gives up another 4, which with 20 seconds left, down 10 now.
well, that's going to end up 12-2 in favor of Fals of Millard over Harris of Delta. So that'll be 4 points towards the JV team score.
And from Delta, Cole Bailey. On deck will be from Millard, Braden Larson, and from Delta, Xavier Thatcher.
Okay, now up for Delta, Cole Bailey. He's taking on Dason Adams. This is a 285-pound matchup. Cole, again, he was one who had a good tournament last week at Tinnick. He took second there as well. So Delta, all in all, we had our forces split. Half went to the Rumble, half went to Tinnick. And those who went to Tinnick, we had one take fifth, and I think, I don't know, a couple fourth, and everyone else was first, second, and third. As Adams looks to spin behind on Bailey as they near the edge, and he's able to do so. Bailey comes to his feet. Bailey, the sophomore from Delta. Last year was his first year wrestling. And he came in, and he's been a good added addition as we were a little light on the heavies.
Cole does a really good job on his feet. There's times where you can tell that lack of experience. He just doesn't know which direction to go. Sometimes it's easier to go the short way or the long way, and he just hasn't quite figured out which way to go yet. But we'll give him another year. He's going to be real tough. And like you said, that great, having some good confidence after a good tournament last weekend, getting ready just a week away from divisionals, and sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah, you know, we've seen an aggressiveness come out of him this year that I don't think we saw as much last year. And, you know, we got Alan Mendez, the freshman, who they too go back and forth in the wrestling room on who's going to be varsity, and that's exactly what you want. Is it looks like Adams tries to do a throw. Bailey trying to back out of it. So just a few seconds left, about 5. We're not going to probably see much change here in the first, as not uncommon in a heavyweight match to end the first period 0-0.
Adams wins the flip and decides to stay on his feet.
Well, he had luck early. Oh, I guess it's not 0-0. I forgot he had that early takedown. Yeah, so it's 3-1, so I apologize for that. That was early in the match, and then they've been on their feet ever since. I think maybe the reason why they went a little out of order, we had Harris start. He wasn't supposed to be until the 15th, but he's going to be wrestling varsity as well. So I think they just wanted to give him that opportunity to get that match done and then be with the varsity team going forward. Adams got Bailey's head caught underneath. Bailey trying to get that out. He's able to get near the edge and pull away. So just under a minute to go in the second period. Still 3-1 in favor of Adams of Millard. Now there's times like that when I see a kid stand out, I'm like, go for it. But
a little different at these bigger boys.
yeah. Yeah, Adams keep trying to get that snap down. And that's the way it's going to end in the second period.
Cole will have his choice here.
A reversal would be good, and a escape and a takedown would be better. Reversal will tie it up. As we enter in this third period at 285 pounds. Adams of Millard taking on Bailey of Delta. He wants that move again. Bailey this time not letting him, so trying to figure out how he can get up and get away without exposing that, which Adams seems to prefer. He's letting him up. Okay. Right, trails by 1. Oh. Trails by 4.
That's just that lack of experience. He knows he's down, needs to go get a takedown, has a chance to go win it, but sometimes you got to be a little patient and set up a shot a little better than that.
Yeah, I mean, there's 15 seconds. I like to see that type of, try something rather than do nothing. But, yeah, he can set up his shot. We know he can get away, so he can do that again now. If he does, he'll be down by 3, and then a takedown could tie it up. So he's not out of it by any means. So Bailey that time almost lets him do it, but he just decided he'd use that momentum and roll through before the other wrestler had a chance. So 2 different ways he defended that after the first time, almost getting caught with it. Okay, there's the escape he needed. Now, takedown. Got 34 seconds to set up the shot. And there's where we'll see a little bit of conditioning. Okay, now this is the time where we need to see that aggressiveness. 10 seconds, now's the time. And so at the end of it, 6-3 in favor of Dason Adams against Cole Bailey.
From Millard, Braden Larson, and from Delta, Thatcher. On deck, from Millard, Barros and Kessler, and from Delta, Tristan Ashby.
Okay, next Thatcher of Delta taking on Braden Larson of Delta. Thatcher, a sophomore. Again, maybe I think he wrestled when he was a little bit younger and then kind of stepped away from it and came back last year and started. And I think he actually, at the red and white duel, I think he wrestled 215.
I believe it was 215.
And now he's wrestling 175 pounds, so he's trimmed off really well with that. I don't think he ever was that full 215, but he was more than the 190. And he's looking good. Last week at the Tinnick duel, he was going for third and fourth and was kind of in a bad position, losing. And this is basically what he did. Did a good double leg, took him down to his back and pinned him. So as I'm trying to describe what happens, we're basically almost getting the same action for action shot as now Millard's able to stand up in there. But it was really exciting as he was able to take the wrestler down last week as he was behind, and that allowed for him to get third at the Battle at the Mine at Tinnick High School. But that ref is going to call a stall here any moment. Maybe being a little bit more patient with the JV than he does the varsity. That was a long time.
A very long time without I don't have a problem with that call either. Like, Zager's doing what he's supposed to. He's trying to return, but when you got a leg up in there, you've got to be able to do something with it.
Yeah. Well, and oh, there we go. Standing cradle.
And also, that's one of the things that the new rule change on scoring was supposed to take away, so refs didn't have to call, which is the stall calls as much as more. But again, when you're on your feet just holding the leg, I think that one still is still supposed to be called there.
Okay, good round for Zager. He now leads 3-1. I didn't see the flip, but I assume he chose bottom.
Yeah.
What grade is this Larson kid?
I couldn't find him on my sheet here. It was, oh, right there he is. Finally. He is a junior, it looks like.
He comes in with a record of 14-19 on the season. As he attempts to try and walk Zager over. Zager trying to hook that leg. He does. Needs to go inside. There you go. Bring it up close. Stand up with it. Keep it in. The kid has a little bit more leg underneath him than Zager does, making it difficult for him to do that mat return. But he does get the reversal in the process before the escape from Millard. So he extends his lead 5-2.
You drop down to lift a hip, and their hip's already taller than you are. That doesn't work very good.
It's just a fascinating thing about this sport. You know, all body types, regardless of weight, you know, they have a chance. But there's that leg. He gets that single, tries to switch off to a double, and he's been very effective with that on the season.
one thing about Zager, he's deceptively strong. Like he.
Oh, still's not out of it yet. Keep with that leg. Short time, 15 seconds. Nothing yet. If he can avoid getting that ankle, should be able to avoid the takedown. As there's only 5 seconds. Hold on to that leg. He should be able to. Oh, with just a couple of ticks left on the clock, that's going to tie things up heading into the third period. Okay, Millard quickly to his feet. Which is, you know, actually okay. I mean, Zager's shown that he's kind of had the control when they've been in the neutral position, if he can continue that. Sucks it up. Here he comes up again. He almost was up to his feet to be able to finish up that double leg. Thought it was 5-5, but I guess there was an uncounted for a point that I wasn't sure of. So he now trails by 4 with just over a minute to go in the third period.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was 5-5 too.
Nearing very much. Yep, right there's the near fall. It rolls through. Can he keep rolling through?
Oh, had a chance and didn't quite get there on the scramble.
So time's ticking out. So that would be a fun matchup to watch a few more times, as I think they'd probably go back and forth as they go through.
From Millard, Kessler, and from Delta, Tristan Ashby. On deck, from Millard, Matt Shields. From Delta, Austin Stevenson.
Who do you have on this one?
This is Tristan Ashby versus Max Shields.
Max Shields, okay.
Yeah. We will probably pretty much follow the order listed on here now.
Or Bronson Kessler, is that supposed to be who that is?
I thought they said, no, Bronson Kessler's who wrestled Zager Thatcher.
Oh,
so,
okay, I'm
yeah.
looking at it wrong.
There
There we go.
Yeah. Quickly, Tristan Ashby, he gets the takedown. He's a great wrestler. He's a freshman, one that we haven't seen as much this season, as I think he's been injured once, if not twice.
That's a really good kid, but he's got the injury bug, and yeah, twice already this year. He's had some issues, but he's healthy now, I heard, and hopefully he can stay that way going into the last couple weeks here.
But I don't know if he could handle a wrestling season without getting injured. So after 3 takes down, he's gonna, I don't know. I didn't see all the scoring, so it's 10-1. So he must
only 2 there. Oh, yeah, he must have went feet to back, and I missed it. I was too busy.
Yeah, we looked down to see who he's wrestling, and next thing we know, he's up 10-1 with a minute to go.
Tristan is one of those kids, too, that is deceptively long. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of kids really struggle wrestling with him because of those really long arms, long legs. Just changes your leverage points, and he uses it to his advantage very well.
Yeah. You know, and I think in a lot of schools he'd be the varsity kid. He wins a lot of matches. As with that bar and the wrist, he's going to be getting some near fall here. Now switches to bar and a half. It doesn't break it, so he's not going to get any more new near fall, as he still has 4 counts waiting to be awarded, but that should do it now. So 4 as he lets him escape. And he's got 5 seconds to try to get the tack, but it'll probably happen in the second period. Deferring, but looking at the score makes more sense for him to take his own choice. Or maybe he did defer, maybe they took it. So takedown will win it for Ashby. Okay, and there it is.
And with the tech fall from Delta, Tristan Ashby. Now up from Millard, Matt Shields, and from Delta, Austin Stevenson. On deck from Millard, Stevenson Stock, and from Delta, Bryan.
So 132 pounds, Austin Stevenson taking on, did you hear who they said?
Max Shields is, I think, what that said.
Also, that is how they're doing it. Okay. Maybe I think they maybe read it down wrong before. So Max Shields versus Austin Stevenson. Stevenson, he just came out last year as a sophomore, and he's picked it up pretty fast. I think when he lived in Beaver, he maybe wrestled Little League for a year or two and then kind of switched to basketball. And then, he's been redeemed and come back to the wrestling. 2 weeks ago I'm trying to think of where they were, at the Winter Classic JV tournament, he took first. And then last week at Tinnick, at the Battle at the Mine, he took first. So he's been, one of the most improved wrestlers that I've seen this season, as he's really starting to put the pieces together. And he went out of bounds, but, he just he stays calm in those situations. You kind of think maybe that other kid's going to get a takedown. He just kind of keeps tight to him and roll through. And even if they hadn't gone out of bounds, he wouldn't have had the takedown. Do we have the record on his Max Shields?
Says a 15-14 freshman.
Mm-hmm. And Stevenson, a junior. He's got the ankle. He's got him broke down. He's going to get behind to get 3 points. And about just under 20 seconds to go in the first period. Well, I'm not going to tell the official, but I think he missed.
He got away
violation.
with one there for a minute. That was
So maybe he has enough awareness to know where his hands are and where the official is. So Stevenson of Delta chooses down. Yeah, this is for Delta. They've got a busy week of wrestling, as after tonight on Thursday, they're going to travel to North St. Pete and take on the Hawks. They've got some really good studs there with kids like the likes of Cody Dykes and Drew King.
Yeah.
Stevenson fighting to get away, up once, up twice, facing him. Got to get the hand off the hip. Now needs to be careful for the throw. As long as he lands on top, which he does. So 2-point reversal.
You know, that's you say he's only a second-year wrestler, and like talking about going out of bounds earlier and not giving up a single leg, that right there is usually people that are really seasoned wrestlers, that knowing how to fall the right way. So the fact that he really hasn't wrestled that much, the kid's got a lot of talent, and it's going to be good for him.
Yeah, and so he gets the fall. So, you know, with that body awareness, I think he's good. I think he jammed his finger a little bit earlier as he keeps reaching for it, or he has it, but not enough to kind of mess it up as he lifts his hand as he goes off the mat and shakes it.
Bryan. On deck from Millard, and from Bryan.
So 132 pounds now for Delta Ian Bryan taking on.
I think it was Isaac Masner is what they announced, I swear. But
I think he's reading them off wrong. I think this is Stetson Stott. So we'll stop listening to the over-the-head announcers, and I think our paperwork is right. Ian, the junior from Delta, good, strong, physical kid.
You know, I like watching all the Bryans wrestle because they all wrestle really strong, really physical. They're just.
And right there is the Granby, which, he almost goes too quick.
Oh.
Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yeah, so there's still not been any points award, or did they? They have 3 on there, but he keeps pointing. Oh, he did give the 3-point takedown. I wasn't sure if he had, but now there's a reversal.
That was Bryan. Just a great series of first move doesn't work, you hit your second one, and then they countered, and then you counter, and man, it's fun to watch good wrestlers when they can go back and forth like that.
Yeah, you know, you got that chain wrestling with a little bit of aggressiveness. Just good things are going to happen. You know, every opportunity to score, whether you're on offense or defense, is your mentality, and if just go from one thing to another. Sometimes we see wrestlers, they try something that's not there, so then they reset instead of, that other wrestler's probably thinking the same thing, and if you're ready, you can usually catch them with something. Delta, if we take a quick look in on the team score, they've taken the lead in the JV match. They now lead 11-10. As Bryan, he covers, but he gets a caution for not putting the hand over the belly button. Ooh, good mat return. Doing a good job keeping his hips tight. And right there, he should be able to get some near fall. Looks he got one swipe. The official shakes his head. He won't get a second. Just a few seconds left to go in the round. And Bryan trails by 1.
Really good first period for both wrestlers there. Both work good things.
It's fun to see fast pins, but it's also fun to see these two that seem very equally matched, and they're going to probably go all 3 periods. Bryan looking to switch out into Granby. Now he's going to get some stuff happening. As he gets reversal, he has a good half Nielsen on him. Here comes the near fall. Tries to sink it deep. Gets it deeper. And, I think I'll go back, forget the 3 rounds. Let's just get the quick pin.
But, again, that's not hitting your first move. He went for a Granby, and that didn't work, so it the other way. And that's what happens when you just keep hustling both ways. Good things happen, and next thing you know, you find a kid on their back. So.
Yep. Just getting some separation from the kid. I don't think that was the move that he was intended to have that he ended up with. But with that separation, then he was able to turn into it and make something happen. A minute to go, so lots of time left as he's starting to lose it. But he'll add, and now he'll take the lead of now 8-3. Good job getting back behind as he kind of got out of position, grabbed the ankle, stretched him out a little bit. Now it looks like he's going to try and cradle maybe. Gets that head into the ribs. Has it locked up, drives him over, loses it maybe. Goes for it again. Ten seconds to go in this second period. Yeah, and this is a kind of another look at the rule change. Allows for a 3-point takedown to where, in this situation, a lot of times it was almost always the default that someone would choose bottom, but where that kind of spreads out the points a little bit, you trail a little bit with a takedown, and if you get them to your back, man, you're just right back into it.
Yeah, major point swings in a hurry. Like even being down 7-8 points, nowadays you're not out of a match.
No. Kid's backing up, not really working in. Bryan, though, if he could just turn him a little bit more to the corner, maybe could have finished that. I don't know, maybe we're seeing a little bit of a tentative nature on that wrestle from Millard. Bryan, though, keeps aggressing. There, though, Millard's setting it up, getting the shot, and there's his takedown. So now he trails by 2. So Bryan, I think, is trying almost to push in to get.
He got the reversal, so he's actually sweeping his own near fall at the moment.
Oh, so he did get
yes,
it. Oh, I thought it was the other way. Well, good, because I'm like, that doesn't look like that should be called near fall, but yeah.
He hit it basically a short grab. He missed the leg, but had both elbows, which controlled 2 points, and ref liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, I must have missed that little acknowledgement of the reversal. So good. 14-6 with under a minute to go in the third period. Bryan, just keeping aggressive and chipping away, and that point spread is going out a little bit as he goes to kind of stack him. Got that foot caught, needs to turn it loose. Official hasn't really noticed it, but he does. Okay, we may get a little more near fall. And hopefully gets the fall. Needs to bring him just a hair more right there, bring him back. 10 seconds to go. That time's probably not going to be in his favor to get into a fall, but add to that 18-6. He does get the major, and will add 4 more points to Delta's lead as they'll go up 15-10 in the team score in the JV match. Now we'll see Bryan, the younger Bryan, who we just watched. He's had a lot of varsity experience this year as a freshman. Wrestling JV tonight as he's taking on Stetson Stott. We're Isaac Masner.
Yep.
As we look down, there was a takedown by Millard that quickly got reversed by Bryan.
Masner, a junior, coming in with a record of 23-11 on the season. I would assume that's kind of probably close to what Bryan's is too, somewhere in that
that's
area.
where I would probably put it as well. So a good matchup as he goes for a bar and a wrist. And it kind of comes to his feet. Bryan brings back, trying to get him to turn with that leverage point. Bar's trying to slip out. You know, one move that I just don't see used very much anymore is just putting that, grabbing that wrist and putting your head into it to get control of the arm. That always seemed to be so effective, but it's almost kind of gone out of style a little bit.
The old head lever or whatever, it depends on people call it, but.
Like right there, you know, grabbing that wrist, putting that head in you, that seems to get control. He's trying to get something going with it. You see right there, that's to me almost a stall where that kid's just sitting there holding on to it, not really making an attempt on bottom. Yeah, I don't see anything from Masner. I don't see anything that Bryan's doing that's keeping as he finally starts to come up near the edge of the mat and time expires.
Delta's choice. Bryan elects to start on the bottom.
Okay, Bryan working for hand control, has that arm, now trying to pull him over. Switches to a leg. He's getting the one as they near the edge. I thought maybe they're going to bounce, but they start to work their way back to the center. As the ankle is going to keep him in. Blinded by his headgear. That gives up on it. Official will allow for a breakage for him to fix that headgear. Just over a minute to go in the second period. Bryan leads, or tied 3-3. You know, they're tied, but it feels like he's been in control the entire time. And they've got that early takedown that lasted for all of 1 second. And then Bryan's been more of his match. And we'll see that again. Hopefully he can finish his double. Not yet, but it should be there if he can just climb up a little bit, and he does.
You know, Bo bumped up to wrestle a varsity spot, but I think he was giving up about 10 pounds, and I think it's going to pay off in the long run. It helps with conditioning and strength. Now that he's back down to normal weight, it'll be good for him. Other than, I'm just glad he didn't get hurt when he was up there.
You know, the other thing about when you wrestle big, it kind of helps expose flaws in some of your techniques, because you can sometimes get away with some, you know, maybe some less.
Over muscle people up or something.
Yeah, over muscle, you like do something that all of a sudden that weight from the other person kind of catches you, and you have to maybe adjust a little bit. So again, trailing by 3, choosing neutral so you can even the score, and he's had a takedown. He looks like he might get again. Has that great ankle pick. Nothing yet. Bryan needs to be careful he doesn't get turned. There comes the takedown. That arm is caught. Now he gets it free. So Millard's coach telling his wrestler to cut him, even though they're tied. Minute 13, doesn't think that he'll be able to do anything in there, but maybe he's been able to have some success with that ankle pick. Goes for it again. Bryan hopefully now aware of it, can avoid it. As that kid he's wrestling, he's got really long arms, and that's a good takedown if you've got those long arms for Masner.
You know, and I like the cut him early. That way, if you wait till the very last chance, you got one chance to take him down. If you cut him early, yeah, you might give up one, but you still got a chance to recover, especially with higher point scoring. There's more opportunities. Cut him early. Let's see. But Bryan, pretty good spot here.
You know, if you've got the top gain and you've got the tilt, you know, try that for a little bit, and if it's not there, then yeah. But most of the time, those can't. He needs to be careful, though, as
scramble here.
I don't know if we'll see a stalemate before the end. Yeah, he could just settle right there, but he's not going to. He's going to try and get that takedown. Not able to, but with that escape given, he'll go up 7-6 and win the match. That makes Delta's team score 18-10 for JV.
Down from Millard, Matthew Whitaker. And from Delta, McCrae Wade. On deck, from Millard, Mason Geno. And from Delta, Trey, Manus.
So McCrae Wade, the freshman for Delta, he's taking on from Millard, Matthew Whitaker.
He's also a freshman.
You know, McCrae, he lived in Fillmore up until about a year and a half ago. And, you know, I'm wondering how many times these two have wrestled each other in some practices. As Whitaker looks to get the takedown first. You know, Wade doing a good job being able to stave off the fall, you know, and I think that's what varsity is going to come down to. I think it's going to be a match of pins, you know, who gets pins and who can, if they end up losing, not get pinned, will do it. So I think that's Delta's path to victory, is get as many pins as they can, and if a kid's not able to win, prevent that, and you kind of see the score hopefully end up a little bit more unfavorable. Either way, I don't think we're going to see kind of what we've seen the last few years as Delta's wrestled Millard.
Yeah, I hope for definitely a lot better match. The last couple of years it's been very one-sided. Hopefully this year it'll hopefully be back somewhere in the middle, and gives up another takedown, or no, we didn't. I thought he.
It is, yeah, it's a takedown. So 8-1 because he got the near fall earlier. I was talking to my dad a couple years ago when the match was over in Delta, and I said, "Hey, do you remember my son beat that state champion in Millard?" He's like, "No." I said, "The kid slammed him. He got disqualified."
Hey, sometimes you gotta take what you can get.
You know, and that was another example of, like, we were surprised he didn't get hurt. He went up a weight or two, giving up a bunch of weight, going up against a stud, trying to just fill that hole in the lineup, and luckily he didn't get hurt in that situation. But yeah, that changed some points around. So I don't think that's a strategy we'll try and live on.
No, let's hopefully a little smarter on hopeful. Let's not bet our money on hopefuls.
Yeah. So second period, and Wade trailing 8-1 as Millard chooses bottom. Wade is on top. Yeah, that 1 point escape, he'll extend his lead 9-1.
Greg gives up another takedown. Now he's down 12-1. A minute left here in the second period.
Yeah, the Palladium's starting to fill up. You know, we're Still about 40 minutes away from when varsity's scheduled to start. I think we'll end up starting a little late because of the number of matches, which is way more fun than just having a few. So if you're watching at home, you can continue to listen to the broadcast as you drive in and come to the Palladium and watch Delta's varsity takes on Millard varsity starting at 7, or at least as soon as these JV matches get done. As now, right there, Wade looked like he almost was getting to a throwing situation, which I love at this point in the match. Make that happen.
Yeah, you're not out anything trying it now.
Yep. I always tell my little boy, we don't headlock unless we're down and it's the end. But, you start looking at some of the collegiate wrestlers, and there's a lot more, I think, headlocking that goes in purposeful with some of those guys than maybe see at the high school level.
It's still an effective move, but the difference is you don't walk out trying to throw a headlock. It's thrown in very specific situations at that collegiate level. But
yeah, because they know how to do it, they know when to do it, and they know, I think most importantly, they've got the body control to tell when it's there. Where some of these kids, they think it's there, and it's like, oh, they're going to throw, don't do it, you're not in the position. Because it takes a few times to get thrown on your back to know that, I wasn't in position, the other kid was.
Because the most natural thing is when someone throws a headlock on you is to try to throw your hips over theirs. And all that does is just loads them up even better for you, put you right on the top of your noggin. Whoa. So, thinking about headlocks from the old Dustin Shumway state tournament, state tournament. I don't think I'd ever seen him throw a headlock in his life, and throws, 3 at region to take first at region, and those 3 at state and makes it to the finals.
Yeah.
All with one move.
Well, the thing about Dustin is he threw headlocks his entire life, but we all had seen him and knew him in there. And, we used to say there's the right way to throw a headlock, the wrong way to throw a headlock, and then there's the Shum way to throw a headlock. But, yeah, he did an awesome job at state, being second place there. I'm not going to say who was varsity over him that didn't place that year. Okay, now we have wrestling Trey Manus. Trey Manus is a freshman as he gets the 3-point takedown and 2-point near fall to start the period.
Wrestling Mason Geno of Millard, also a freshman.
Yeah, it's Geno. I got that from the coach over there. I want to make sure we try to get some of these pronunciations right. Manus, he wrestled 98 pounds last week at the Rumble and took 4th. That Rockwell Rumble, that is a stout tournament with some of the best wrestlers, not just in Utah, but there's teams coming from the Intermountain West there. I know there's teams from Wyoming, Idaho, Washington,
Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada. That Slam, is that a charter school out of Las Vegas?
It is, yeah.
Just basically designed for wrestling kids to go to school. They see them at the Millard Ironman, and they go up there to the Rockwell Rumble and win pretty handily. Okay, well, the Coach Jensen talking to the official, they're having an easier time keeping up with the scores. We're only 36 seconds into it. It's 9-1, and
they're kind of thinks the question, and he called I don't know if it was an illegal handhold or an illegal move or something, and I think Coach Jensen just wanted some clarification.
Mm-hmm. So he's getting the near fall. We'll see if he's content with that or if he's going to try and get the fall right here. And man, I've been in that position before, and it's not comfortable. And from the kids I did it before, they told me that's not very comfortable either. Not much you can do right there. Not get pinned is a pretty good achievement. But Manus able to get the fall, and Delta will go up 24-16 in the team score.
Now up from Millard, Dan Gates, and from Delta, Cole Bailey. On deck from Millard, Boston Lugers, and from Delta, McCrae Wade.
So Dan Gates, he's wrestling JV for Millard. He actually placed 4th last year in the state tournament. He's now JV to their Race Adams, who last year placed 4th, but he was at the 215. Now they're both in the same weight. So both of these wrestlers, I think, easily could have been the varsity lineup, just depending on what happens in the wrestling room on any given week. So while it's a JV match, it's very much of the varsity caliber.
Well, that's one thing that Millard always is strong in, their upper weights. They always seem to find some really big, strong, physical, heavyweight type kids.
Well, and, I've seen Dan wrestle his entire life. He and my son Campbell for a lot of years were in a lot of those same weights. But what I'll have to say about them is they find these kids when they're younger. Dan was not a great wrestler when he was in elementary school and in junior high. But, that maturation comes, the stick with it happens, and, now he's a big contributor to the team. And that's one thing that if we can get more of these wrestlers to do, when they start young, stick with it, because you never know how things are going to turn out. I'll use my son because he's the best example. That's how he was. He was the kid who was quite often not doing very well in those younger grades, and then, man, puberty hits and good things happen. But yeah, Dan Gates gets the fall here in the first period.
Now, from Millard, Boston Lugers, and from Delta, McCrae, Wade. On deck, from Millard, Kaden, Fals. On deck, Tristan, Briano, and Ian, Bryan.
It looks like maybe we're skipping a weight, but I don't know if we're going to come back to it, as they've now announced that we're going to Boston Lugers and McCrae Wade. I think that's one they probably could have split out a little bit more. Didn't he just wrestle?
That's what I was.
He was just 2 matches ago, and he those 2 matches didn't last very long. But he's taking on Boston Lugers. Now 3 or 4 more matches after this one, which, we may get done a little bit before varsity, which is good, and that will allow for some time for the opening festivities. Delta has 2 more home duels, as next week, on Tuesday, I'm trying to remember who comes, North Severe, and then on Thursday, Canyon View comes, and to finish the regular season of duels. This week, Thursday, Delta will travel to North St. Pete. So 3 more duels after tonight, 1 more tournament, and then they'll get ready for divisionals in state. Nothing awarded yet. McCrae's doing a good job from keeping him going behind, but can't really do much else as he now switches and goes the other way. McCrae has got a good hold of that left arm of his. Gives it up, tries to go more to the leg. Catches the leg this time.
This ref's got a little more patience than I do. I think I would have had him start up again, but patience paid off, and
yeah, we didn't get the stall call earlier, so when we probably should have deserved one. So he's just letting him wrestle. And, and maybe for these JV, he just knows that, takes a minute longer. After Millard deferring, Wade's going to choose bottom. Coaching the JV tonight, we've got Jordan Sorensen and Brennan Willoughby, Tanner Shields, and Jansen Manus.
Quite a different specialty of talents right over there.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Jansen, he's got to be one of my all-time favorite kids I love to watch. He was probably the strongest 220-pound wrestler I've ever seen. And I had this nasty double leg or a crotch lift, and he'd pick people up off the ground. And kids that are not used to getting picked up off the ground, and they just didn't know what to do. And he'd just pick them up, hold them over his head, set them down so gentle. But kids that not used to being off the feet, it was pretty funny watching them squirm and kick. And such a strong, strong wrestler he was.
Yeah. Kind of a windmill in the air with those kids. And You know, and Tanner Shields, I think, you know, he's maybe one of the best technicians ever to come out of Delta. You know, his ability and knowledge is almost unrivaled.
Oh, and then he's got that knowledge coming from the secondary level. You know, he wrestled at UVU for a while. Coach Sorensen also has some collegiate experience.
Or did he go to, was it Mesa State?
Mesa State,
yeah, over there in Colorado. So 40 seconds to go. McCrae Wade, he trails 3-0 here in the second period. We look at the team score, we're close. Delta leads by 2, 24-22, and so it's going to come right down to the end with these wrestlers here in the JV match, and it can have a big impact on carrying that momentum into the varsity. And I haven't heard if they're starting at 106 or the other weights, but you know, again, you know, where they start can have an impact on where momentum starts.
You know, I like that rule change way back of not always start at the bottom, but most times than not, it seems to still just kind of start at the bottom. So,
yeah, for sure. You know, one of my favorite moments of all time, though, has to be this season when we hosted Tooele. Not only was Delta on the verge of having a perfect match, everyone winning, but we ended up with it being the heavyweight. Alan Mendez wrestled, does one of his just really awesome moves to the back, and someone down on the mat side got a picture. And what I loved is, like, you see Alan about ready to get the pin, but you just see the complete connection of the student body in the background. And I just would look at that picture and over again, because that's what we want. We want the kids, you know, having success. We want to see the community and the student body just engaged. And they didn't do that because, you know, Alan was going to win the match and it was going to determine anything. He's just a good kid, and people want to see his success, and that's what we want. We want to see these kids coming out and becoming better, and just everyone getting behind them.
Well, that's, to me, growing up from Delta and growing up through some good eras, was the thing that's amazing about Delta Wrestling was it's such a community thing, and it was, like you said, that was such a magical moment of seeing that culture and community all come back together, kids all enjoying it, and yeah, it's good times for next few years at Delta Wrestling, I think.
Yeah. Okay, McCrae, I don't know if he can get that left hand out. If he could, you know, this would be an opportunity to go head hunting, as he's got 45 seconds to go and he's down by 2, as kind of shifts out of it. So a reversal could go a long way. He's got to get to the base, though, to make that happen. Yeah, I think we're going to have a full house between everyone here on the north side. The whole bottom section is basically full, half the south side, and you look up here in the upper level, and it's pretty getting filled up. But there's a beautiful thing about the Palladium; it's never full.
Never.
So out of bounds. So McCrae Wade right now, he needs to find a reversal to survive and move us into sudden death. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't give up on it. Short time. Good stuff at the end. He doesn't able to score, but he was fighting all the way. He got separation. He was making some things happen. And, you know, he's frustrated, and that's understandable. But the fact that he is frustrated means that he cares and that he wants to do better.
From Delta, Bryan. On deck for the last match of the night for Millard, Barros, and Stevenson from Delta.
Okay, so 2 more matches. Again, for the second time this evening, we've seen Bryan, the junior from Delta, having one earlier today, taking on Briano.
Briano, a sophomore with a pretty good 33-7 record on the season.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing that this doesn't show us on track wrestling is what are varsity matches and what's JV matches.
It does make a little difference, but
yeah,
anytime you're over 500, that's
that's you're beating who you're supposed to be beating when you're going to those. At state, we'll see just their varsity ones be able to happen. So now we have 2 matches down where we trail by 1. They both matter to, you know, get that JV win in the match. Briano looks to be a fairly quick kid. Last year at state, he took 5th place at the 106 pounds, as he's now moved up to 132 pounds, putting on 26 pounds since last year, as he gets the takedown in the meanwhile. We see Briano's older brother in the varsity at 157 pounds. Yeah, that kid is quick.
Does a really good job at getting you off balance by setting up a shot. Ian with a good counter. Gonna give him the reverse. Nope. He's gonna wave it back off.
We'll give him one.
He should. I figured he'd at least give him one, where he gave him 2 and then took it back.
Yeah, see, I agree with the coaches. Both coaches come off and they want to be able to visit with him. Even me and Bryan stood in the neutral position, feeling like, yeah, I got one on that. I don't know. It'd be a hard sell to a coach to say, you know, you gave 2 and then you don't give anything. Okay, just a couple seconds to go. Bryan trying to get one. And was able to come to his feet, but not able to convert it into anything. So Bryan chooses down. But Briano, he's going to cut him. He does. He gets people a little off center with those little fakes. Tries to trip. Bryan's able to pick up the leg. Now looks to finish as they near the outside edge and unable to. So we have one more match coming up after this one.
And just so fast on his feet. Just.
Okay, Bryan has a leg. Maybe looks to elevate it.
Got time to work it here if you can keep scooting. Just to elevate that leg, get it.
He needs to do something lifting it, or that official may. Oh, he gives it up. I was going to say the official may look at that as a stalemate. Okay, one swipe, but not enough to get any near fall. Just 20 seconds to go in the second period. There he goes. He's able to get the escape. So 9-2. And it'll be Millard's choice. Okay, back to their feet. Briano feels very comfortable there. So he'll extend his lead 12-3. And blood time for, looks like Millard.
What weight do they have these two out here?
Ian Bryan is listed as 132 along with, let's see, how does this go? Ian Bryan's listed as 132. Christian's listed at 120. So maybe this is just an exhibition match of sorts in terms of weight. As that's, for those lower weights, that's a lot of weight. Yeah, so his first match he wrestled 132 pounders, so I think there is a little bit of a weight difference right here. But here's some good things could happen. He does get the reversal. I thought maybe he was going to get into a near fall situation as he has.
Just missed it. If he could have caught the head there just a half a count sooner, I think he's been able to put him on his back.
And he's strong enough that when he gets that locked up, you're not going to move very much. So minute 7 to go in the third period. He trails by 7. Get able to keep hip to hip, keep that ankle, steps. He's close. He's just almost there on some of those moments. And 26 seconds to go. Probably at this point, he's basically needs the fall to finish it up. Okay, let's see a good headlock thrown. Yeah, Briano's just going to back away. Not going to tempt anything as he tries to throw the headlock. But time has expired. So that's going to be a major. That's going to put up Millard 29 to Delta's 24. Here's our last match. Austin Stevenson taking on Jesse Barros. So we need Austin for a pin on this one. So curious if he's looked at the scoreboard and understands what's happening.
I hope not. I think he's okay.
Yeah, if he can make that happen, that'll be good. Pinned his first kid earlier today. Not always, but sometimes your first match that they have, these JV ones, are maybe the harder one. But Millard strikes first with the takedown.
Barros looks like he's a freshman, according to Track Wrestling.
So with that escape, 3-1, as Austin gets a little out of position. Near fall being counted, and he comes up. So 9-1. But I'm not all that worried about Austin yet, even though he's trailing by 8. It doesn't feel like that's going to be how it's going to be in a couple more minutes.
I think about him, he's got a pretty good motor that just kind of keeps going.
So reversal, he narrows it by 6. 30 seconds to go in this first period. Austin's choice. He's going to defer. Millard wants to defer, but he'll choose bottom. Austin doing a good job bringing him back down to the mat. You know, one thing that makes this a little interesting, you know, again, Austin's so long that, you know, he's got to be careful wrestling this little bit shorter body kid. He doesn't extend himself, but he's going to be able to get some near fall, but not, he's not counting.
I thought he should, but I haven't seen a swipe yet.
There they come. But this is where he needs to kind of maybe settle back a little bit, get a little better position, get your swipes, and then get a little bit more chest to chest, and you'll be able to finish it. There you go. And, yeah, there we go. So Austin Stevenson, 6-point pin. That's going to make the end of the JV duel 30-29. So, Austin, I hope you realize that you did that. We'll see what if he looks up at the scoreboard and realize. I don't think he even has a clue. But I'm sure the coaches will let him know that. That's a good opportunity for some momentum to carry us into the finals, which are scheduled to start here at 7 o'clock. So I didn't keep track of how many Delta versus Millard, but pretty even between the two.
Well, that was just a good JV round of wrestling. A lot of good matches back and forth. A lot that all went all 3 rounds, coming down to close points. It's make for a really exciting varsity match here. And what did it say, about 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's if we start on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to just keep this broadcast going live and start back here with the wrestlers' introduction, the national anthem, and then the lineups will get going as we have one bye tonight with 190, but we're looking forward to 13 matches coming forward. So we'll step away from the headsets for a few minutes and then be back at 7 o'clock. Hey, we'd like to welcome you out to the Delta High School Palladium, where the Delta Rabbits will be taking on the Millard Eagles here in this home duel. So we're just getting ready for the Delta wrestlers to make their way out on the mat, and then we'll get started. £106 for Delta. We have Kyler Jenkins. He's taking on Porter Dahl.
At 113 pounds from Delta, Nash Jensen is taking on Trail Moat of Millard.
£120 for Delta, Uriah Anderson. His opponent from Millard is Lane Monroe.
At 126 from Delta, it's going to be Manny Lopez. And from Millard, Cal Bray from Millard.
£132 for Delta, Harvey Walgren. And in this dual matchup, he'll be taking on Coulter Kelly.
And 138 from Delta, we've got Carter Anderson. And from Millard, Dak Eldridge.
144 for Delta, Trey Bradshaw. And he'll be taking on from Millard, Matt Whitaker.
And 150 from Delta, we have Cash Nilsson. And from Millard, Hunter Ashworth.
Okay, 157 pounds, Colin Anderson's taking on Millard's Adrian Brasinio.
And at the 165-pound weight class from Delta, we have Wyatt Harris, and his opponent will be Morgan Tingy.
Okay, 175 pounds, Gabe Villegas for Delta is taking on Deegan Leatham.
And tonight, Delta will be four-footing at 190 pounds to Kaden Turner of Millard.
Moving into 250 pounds, we have Anthony Suarez, and he's taking on Gael. I asked the coach earlier, Gael Gutierrez.
And at your 285-pound weight class from Delta, got Alan Mendez. And his opponent tonight from Millard, Race Adams.
Sarah Peterson, the band and orchestra teacher for Delta High School, will be doing the national anthem. Okay, as they welcome out the team captains for Delta, they have Trey Bradshaw and Cash Nilsson. Our official tonight is Andy Nilsson. And we have a pretty full house here at the Delta Palladium. Probably the largest I've seen for any crowd for any event for quite a while.
Yeah, I would agree. It's been quite a while since it's seen this many seats filled. But cross-county rival, always a good time.
Looks like they are going to start the 106-pounder, and we'll end with the heavyweights. So traditional style of going.
$106, Kyler. He's been up 13 for most season. Came down, 2 weeks ago?
Well, when they got the 2-pound allowance,
yeah,
so he came down.
And he's doing really, really well for Delta.
Yeah, he's. I think he's worked about as hard as anyone in the offseason trying to get ready. So, yeah, this 106-pound match is sponsored by KJ Plumbing and Heating, as Kyler Jenkins is taking on Porter Dahl. Porter Dahl last year was a state finalist in the 2A tournament. He's a sophomore this year. Kyler, he's a sophomore as well. And last year at the state tournament, he qualified, but he didn't place.
You know, this is one of the head-ups that I really wanted to see tonight. Porter, great wrestler for Millard. Like I say, great success last year. But Kyler, I think, could be at that level, and it should be a really good matchup tonight.
Well, and he's a kid that when he goes out on the mat, he thinks he can win, and that's so huge. If you don't think you can, you're going to have a hard time making it happen. As he looks like he can convert his own shot, as he elevates it, brings him down. Oh, but lose kind of his footing right there.
The other thing about Kyler is pound for pound, there isn't a kid probably as strong as anyone. He surprises a lot of those little kids on how strong he is, and you say tonight,
he's got that foot, and they're going to give it.
Got the hips covered, and going to give up the second takedown there.
About 35 seconds to go. fun thing about working at the high school is just kind of getting to know these kids and just also just knowing he's just a good kid, you know, just kind to everyone and just puts his nose down and goes to work.
You know, and with your Delta Wrestling channel, one of my favorite things with Kyler was last year at a tournament with him and Cash and Carson Nelson when they had their team roping. I think that's still on your YouTube page, isn't it?
It's still on there. Not only that, I look at the analytics. That is month in and month out, like in our top 10 videos of all time, even though it was over a year ago. People are still going in and watching it.
Such a great video.
The one that outcompeted it, though, was at the Millard Ironman last year. They did Wrestling Moms, and that thing got tens of thousands of views on our Facebook page.
Kyler up to his feet there. Or, sorry, Porter up to his feet there.
So he extends his lead 7-1 with about 1:35 to go in the second period.
A great shot. Just, that's one of those things. It doesn't matter what your defense is. When you get that deep on your hips and be able to elevate, once your feet are off the ground, there's not a lot you can do.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to work to clear that wrist out. Not sure what Coach Turner is upset about, but he's yelling, I think, maybe at the official. He kind of backs away and sits down. Hey, Dahl's going to give up what he was trying, maybe go a little bit different. He looks to have a crossface. Well, just a few seconds left. We'll head into the third period. Kyler trending 10-1. It'll be his choice, and I would expect to see him take neutral. And that's what he does.
The difference, Kyler needs to get to his shot here. When he takes his shots, I think he's a lot better than when he's reacting to it.
Yeah. Well, and he got in really good on that first shot that he took, and then just as he was about ready to finish, his foot just kind of slid out of him a little bit, and then he just kind of got into a struggle to maintain his own. Wow. And that's going to do it. That's a technical fall. You know, we never did get to see Kyler on top. It would have been fun to kind of see what would have happened there. He's got the shots that he can do that. So I think that this is one, if they battled each other throughout the season, we'd probably see a little different outcome. I think they'd narrow the gap throughout each time he wrestles.
Next match at 113, Nash Jensen, a freshman, also wrestling Trail Mo. I believe he's also a freshman.
I think so too. He's not listed on anything from last year.
I believe these two quite familiar. I've seen them wrestle junior high each other a few times.
You know, both of their dads are coach. Kip Jensen, he's the head coach for Delta. Cody Mode, one of the assistants for Millard.
Good return by Nash, keep him back down on the mat.
Yeah, they hit the 1 minute mark. Nash Jensen still up 3-0 here in the first period at 113 pounds. I think Moat kind of helped Nash a little bit there as he ran. He ran a little bit more towards the outside, the inside, allowing Nash to be able to reset.
Well, Nash doing a really good job of controlling here, but I'd like to see him hopefully get a few more points here before the end of the round, but I don't think he's going to get it.
I'm trying to tell, does he have his right arm? Oh, he's got his arm back. For a minute, I think he maybe kind of the Moat kid had it caught, so he's got 4 seconds. Nothing's going to change, but we can see what the potential is moving forward. So potentially dangerous on that arm, I think, as time expires. So
Moat's going to defer. Looks like Nash is going to take on the bottom.
see, that's right there. We see, he gets away, but he doesn't like separate. He keeps the wrist, and it's not just about him trying to get away and get that point. He's like, okay, I'm going to turn that into an offensive move as soon as I get away. Both of them, really going at each other's heads. Oh, beautiful, but out of bounds. Jensen with an underhook turns it into somewhat of a throw.
Those are the moves you pretty much only see on the edge of the mat because it's when you dare throw them, but man, that would have been looked to see what that would have looked like on the middle and have a chance to actually cover over.
So nearing the midway point of the second period, Jensen up 4-0. Both the wrestlers on their feet as Moat goes in for a shot. Jensen trying to get his leg free as he's got the ankle, goes back the other way.
That should be 3, yep, and they got it right there.
Jensen in on the legs, trying to get that left arm back of Moat. It goes back to the leg. And I think that's probably how the second period, we've got 5 seconds to go. I haven't figured out if Jensen's just manhandling him on top or if Moat's just not wanting to get any separation to get up a little bit where he might get thrown a little bit. But it's going to be Moat's choice.
Honestly, I think that's kind of a little bit of both. Nash is really strong on top, but I think that was Moat really just protecting, not giving up something big he didn't need to.
So Jensen right now at the 7-0, he shy 1 point of getting a major, and I think for Delta to have a chance tonight, every point's going to count. So, get the fall. If you can't get the fall, get the tech. If you can get the tech, get the major. And we'll make those points, add up at the end of the night. Official finally, I think, tells the bottom wrestler to see some action. Jensen trying to get that bar locked in, gets that elbow kind of, whoa. So what do you think was any
I think
word
he
of
had
that?
an arm bar in, and I think he pulled it a little way
Okay.
away from his body.
Okay. Because I guess I hadn't seen quite what they are. I mean, most of the time they just stop that as potential dangerous, but they must have seen a little bit more of that and necessitated that point being awarded.
He must have, because he looked like he was kind of had some aggressive words there to Nash too, to warn him what he was doing wrong. He must have definitely saw something he didn't like.
This time he goes straight across the back, looking to run. The bar has the half, needs to jump across, has the bar in the half. Now a bar and a wrist. Starting to hear the crowd starting to call for stalling. Again, he gets stopped. A couple of coaches on the side of Delta can't believe it in there as the official stares down the coach from there. Waves Delta wrestler on as he's staring down the assistant coach for Delta. 33 seconds to go. Nash Jensen working hard to try and get something happening. Millard wrestler. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he cuts him, and he does right there. So 1 point. So if he gets this 3-point takedown, that would be enough to make it a major, and that's what they need. 15 seconds.
Moat doing what he should, just sit there and hold that arm, try to stay facing.
He's still no stall call. 2 seconds. It's going to be hard to get a shot in that time, as that's the most energy I've seen. Most energy I've seen him Moat as he ran back to the center. Now the coach is wanting to talk to the official. I think he's a little upset at both the point given and no stall calling. So he's visiting with him. So now the official is showing him what the problem was and expressing to him why it was. So Jensen thought it should have been a potential dangerous. Uriah Anderson, another freshman for Delta at 120 pounds. He's taking on Lane Monroe. Lane placed third last year at the 2A state tournament. And I think at the Rumble last week he took fifth. And that Rumble tournament, man, if you don't know what that is big time tournament. And Anderson able to strike first, getting that 3-point takedown. No change yet. Continuing to wrestle, has a half Nilton as he builds up.
You get Uriah in this position here, and he's about as good as I've seen on this. He sticks his inside leg in, and
this is dangerous territory right here for both wrestlers. He got a little high there, and that allowed for Millard to get a separation and get the throw. As now Monroe has the half.
Did you already say because did Monroe play? He was second or third last year at state, I believe, wasn't he?
He placed third last year at the state tournament and fifth at the Rumble just this past weekend. Okay, so near fall being counted.
Uh,
19 seconds to go. He now trails by 1. So Delta faithful struggling with the counts on that by that. Anderson needs to hold on. 7 seconds, needs to hold on. Hold on. Oh, and time expires, and saved by the bell with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was a really quick 2 count too, but then it turned out it really didn't matter because he ended up getting 4 anyway. But.
Well, but they gave him the 2 and then they gave him the 4. But I didn't see a change of hold, so Did he change the wrestling hold?
I didn't. I was going to say I didn't think it was either. But
So yeah, to me it feels like it should be 6-3, but official or the scoring table, I don't know. They believe it's 8-3. So Millard in with a bar, trying to either get a wrist or a half. Millard now running it, has a half on one side, running it on the bar side. Near fall being counted.
oh, he's in trouble right there.
Yeah. Unless he can clear and come over the top the other way. Now he's in a little more trouble as it Millard starts to sit out. He just leverages that up, and he's just about there as he sits harder into it. You can tell that Anderson's a little pain with his feet. So, yeah. Not the way Uriah wanted to. I think there's a little more. I'd like to see those matches a couple more times between those two.
126 pounds from Delta, Manny Lopez.
Yeah. I want to get caught up a little bit on our sponsorship. I got a little distracted. Going back to Nash Jensen, 113 pounds. That duel is being sponsored by Tim and Sharon Evans of Henning Company. 120 pounds, Uriah Anderson's match was sponsored by Sahara Motors. And now for Delta, 126 pounds, Manny Lopez. This one's sponsored by Delta Family Medicine, and he's taking on Cal Bray. Bray, I believe, is also a freshman, took 6th place at the Rumble. Manny's one of these wrestlers from Delta that he's one of my favorite to watch when he's on his feet because he's always going, has good takedowns. And I think this is only his 3rd year wrestling. So under a minute to go here in the first period. Manny trails 3-1.
Oh,
that's about as good as if you can see it.
There. Wow.
Yeah, and he's taking the shots. That one he was a little further out and just went in so smooth. And this would be a nephew to Coach Wright, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so Coach Wright, Delta wrestling coach in what do you say, mid 2000s? Mid 2000 came in and helped revitalize Delta.
So at the end of the first, Delta trails 2-9. Manny doing a really good job at continuing to hit pressure forward. And again, I spoke a little soon, but
Yeah, that snap is working pretty well for him. As Manny's tied up, and then he just gets aggressive and pulls him aside and spins around. That should do it. 19-4. No one, I don't think anyone's realized that that's a tech fall. Finally, Kip Jensen indicates it. Both coaches indicate it. And then the official stops the match.
You know, Manny actually, I know the score doesn't show it, but Manny did pretty well there. That's just wrestling a kid that is just unreal on his feet. Man, the speed at which he shot that fireman from the far side, unbelievable shot.
Yeah, and just, it's not just fast, it's just smooth. Like it just goes in, and you know, 'cause some can kind of go in kind of crazy, but he's just in as fluid as anything. £132 weight class, sponsored by Stevenson Honey Company. This features Harvey Walgren taking on Coulter Kelly. Walgren, a freshman. Kelly, he is a 2-time state champ, a 3-time state finalist, and as a freshman, the person that he lost to in the finals is the 3-time state champ for Millard that we're going to see next. That was in the same wrestling room. So, a phenomenal wrestler. .39 seconds to go in the first period. Walgren down 3-0. Walgren, the freshman, Kelly, the senior.
Harvey's one that sometimes it's different to watch him because he does such a good job at countering things where he looks like he's really in trouble a lot of the time, but he always seems to find a way to end up on top.
He was someone who's so strong as well. Like at the Millard Ironman, a kid was trying to throw him, and Harvey turned his body so hard the other way, trying to prevent it, that it actually tweaked his own neck. It wasn't so much the kid's effort as it was just him going the other way. So at the end of one, Walgren down only by 3 as Coulter Kelly will take bottom. In these first 5 matches, we've had 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore. And even though maybe the score doesn't reflect it, we've got a really, really good underclassmen that are going to make big differences for Delta Wrestling in the next few years. Even this year, I think they're going to have an impact right off the bat at the state tournament.
All 4 of these so far, I have legit shots at placing at the state meet. It definitely is going to be a big change from what it is. I mean, right now, tonight, let's face it, this Millard team, man, they're a juggernaut this year. As a dual lineup, they're just 14 weights, 14 solid kids.
Yeah.
I know, let's see, they beat Juab twice. They beat pretty much everyone that there is.
Well, Spanish Fork, they won the 5A tournament last year. And all the lineups changed, but they placed higher than them at the Rumble. I think was Millard 4th at the Rumble or 5th?
Yeah, it was in the top 5. Really,
Yeah.
which,
You know, from top to bottom in the state, 1A to 6A, I think that, you know, you've got to put Millard in the top 5. You know, you've got Uinta, who's probably number 1.
Layton's number 1.
Layton's number 1. They're both right there. And then,
And then, yeah, it's probably Millard, maybe somewhere in that way.
Someone.
Yep.
Westlake.
Westlake's tough, yep.
Yeah. So Millard, they're on a 3-year streak on winning the 2A state championship. I don't think they're going to be touched this year as they go through it. But just a good group. They've got the buy-in from the community, from top to bottom with their youth program and things like that. And Delta, you know, was there for a long time, and it's on its way back. I think we're just seeing the very beginning part of that. The last 3 years, Delta's won the junior high state tournament. That tournament's happening this week in Richfield. And they don't just win the 3A. They've won the 3A the last 3 years, but they've won out of 1A through 4A, which all wrestle at the same time. They've won it there.
Harvey really doing a good job here. Like, he's wrestling a good, tough match.
You know, I bet if you looked at the results of a lot of Kelly's matches, there are probably a lot of pins and tech falls. So this is probably a little bit uncharted territory for Kelly to have someone this in there. Walgren's done a good job riding him. So just a minute to go in the third period. Walgren, he's down 5, needing something to happen. Coaches from Delta would like to see some action from the bottom. Oh, you know, I'm okay with that. You know, I mean, there's some time he hasn't been able to do it. The wrestler was kind of off balance, you know. So 28 seconds to go. Walgren again needs to be stout and not turn. So the official has upset at one of the assistants for Delta. I didn't see him saying anything to him. He was just leaned back, and he's now going after the assistant. Delta coach nods and agrees, and I don't know agrees, but
I don't know what that was either. I
was
looking over that direction, and I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything. So, but
we'll see now over on the other side though. He's going to turn
this side, so
I don't think he's going to leave with any friends here tonight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't hear what he's hearing, and I'm not sure what Turner was upset about. You know, like you said again, you know, bar on there, and Walgren finds a way to
keep scrambling. He's still fighting. You know, that probably Harvey probably wanted that to go a little bit different, but honestly, that's one of the better matches I've seen Harvey wrestle all year. He fought hard all 6 minutes, had chances, just missed a few little things here and there, but nothing to hang your head on that match. He wrestled a really tough match.
I'm not taking anything away from this wrestler, but Harvey Walgren, freshman against this Kelly kid as a freshman, you know, that had been, you know, probably a little different outcome, but also I think a senior Walgren against him would be a little bit different. Now we're getting to Coulter Kelly. Kelly undoubtedly is the biggest stud on the Millard team.
Oh, this is Eldridge.
Or Eldridge. Man, I got those two mixed up in my head. I know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But Eldridge is the 3-time state champ. Placed second last week at the Rumble. Carter making something happen. Hasn't got it yet. So just about did. Lift. Oh, wow. Man.
Oh,
wow.
What a great scramble on both wrestlers. Wow, I guarantee you Carter has never probably been in those positions before, and he actually did really well.
Yeah, just about had the takedown. Again, against a 3-time state champ. This guy is legit. You know, has the strength, has the experience, has the speed. And
you know, he hasn't called things very quick all night, and that one might have been just a little quick.
yeah, I think there's.
I'm not saying Carter had much room to go.
No, but I'm saying if there was 2 shoulders on the mat, one of them wasn't his.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. You know, Carter's one that, man, last week, I know he didn't place at the Rumble, but he's one that came back and won 3 or 4, 5 matches that just missed placing. Really coming on here at the right time. I look for him to make some big waves at the state tournament this year. I think he's got a real shot at coming in, placing top 4 or 5.
Yeah, last year at the state tournament, he placed 6th as a sophomore. Now he's a junior. This weight, and let's go back to 138, Carter Anderson. That match is brought to you by Great Basin Powder Coating. This one, Trey Bradshaw, brought to you a Predator Armor, so 144 pounds. He's taking on, this is a change from the original lineup to Matt Whitaker. Trey, another one who just missed out of the medal round at the Rumble. Just, you know, incredible. 3rd place at state last year. So he's start with, you know, the 3-point takedown. You know what grade this Whitaker kid is?
I don't. I believe, I want to say he's a sophomore, but where's my paper?
So Bradshaw getting the near fall. He wants to get the fall. .52 seconds to go, and the fall happens. So first pin of the night. Trey Bradshaw doing a great job.
Trey's always makes for an exciting match.
For sure.
He's a little unorthodox on some positions and makes me terrified in others, but he more times than not ends up in a good spot. And
yeah, very uncomfortable in out of comfortable positions.
You know, my other favorite things about him is he's one of those ones that could go get down 9 points in the first period and not even sweat. He just feels like it's 0-0, goes back, and always ends up making it close, and usually ends up winning by the end of it.
Yeah, he's confident in his abilities, and that's what you want. This is our 150-pound weight class, sponsored by Desert Rock, and Cash Nilsson of Delta, taking on Hunter Ashworth. Ashworth, the senior from Millard. He placed 3rd last year at state and 4th as a sophomore. Cash last year, he was in the state finals. And I can't remember, but, you know, state placer also as a sophomore. Fifth as a sophomore.
And Cash is one that last year, it was just about a week ago, he found his groove, and Cash has looked really great ever since. You know, he's been doing really good things, wrestles really strong and athletic, and I really hope now that he's especially cut down to 150 now, and I think it's going to be a really good spot for him. That I think he's got a really good shot at actually being in the state finals again this year.
Yeah. Pretty as that comes. I love every time he does that beautiful move. So he will score 3.
I kind of thought there should have been a swipe or 2 there, but looks like we must be at a bad angle there.
Has the half trying to find something to make it happen, as there's about 22 seconds to go in the first period. everyone who's wrestled up into including Cash, I think are, well on their way of being able to be state placers this year. If they just, wrestle their own matches the way they're designed, I don't want to say they're likely, but I think they're expected.
I think at this point with how well they've done all season, I would say it is expected where they should be there. 3A is going to really match up. It's kind of going to be strange, because there's, I think Juab everybody would agree, is definitely by far still the favorite. But they match up head to head with us really, really well, which leaves South Summit really open. And South Summit is stacked in their upper weights where it could be a really fun state tournament. I think there's 3 or 4 teams that are going to make some waves, and it'll just really come down to who has the best tournament.
Yeah. Juab has the best team, but I don't know if they have the best collection of kids across the state. And so you've got Canyon View, who has 2 or 3 studs. You've got Morgan, who they've always got 2 or 3 studs. That 4th kid is unreal. You had 4 of the South Summit kids wrestle at the All-Star duels. And, based off point values alone, they were picked to place higher than Juab. But, that's just preseason, hype to get people talking. You've got like the Roybal kid from Union. I don't think anyone's going to touch him at the state tournament. In fact, I think that's who Cash wrestled last year.
That is who Cash wrestled this state final.
Carson wrestled him this year, and the kid found out afterwards that it was a different kid. He's like, man, you're a lot stronger than you were last year.
You're not sure that's his twin brother, Carson, who's not wrestling tonight.
But Cash here, let's keep attention on him because he's doing a great job. 30 seconds to go in the second period. He's up 7-0, and he's just, wrestling a solid match. Hopefully in the next, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, he can turn it into a fall and not just a win. And again, this is a kid who, at his own state tournament, he's a state placer the last 2 years.
Cash rides so well on top. He doesn't usually score a lot by turns, but you don't see a lot of people get away from him either. He works that tight waist really well.
Oh, a little bit of trouble as that kid ends up in the Granby. A lot of time left. Carson close to getting that arm out.
Cash makes it back to his belly. That was.
So he's still ahead. Minute 15 to go. The kid's looking to cradle. Cash needs to get that handoff at the front of him. He did. He gave him some near fall.
Wow, that was.
He's fast on that near fall and maybe slow on some stalls.
Okay, so Cash goes down now. He's down 8-7. About 50 seconds left.
He's got to get that leg back, and he can't. Until he does, he's not going to be able to move it. Coach is telling him, crawl forward. Get out, and then we can restart. Okay, that leg is out, so now is where he's got to move. The bar's on from Millard, and this is 100% a surprise. Good things happened, and that Millard wrestler took advantage of it. 20 seconds. Does he know the score?
I do, but I think he's got that arm bar in so tight. And he knows if he makes any bad moves, he's going to end up on his back again.
Now the Millard wrestler throws his toes back in, and they know that that's a huge win for them. You wrestle that 10 times, that's not going to happen all but one.
He wrestled a great match, was controlled all but that one 7-point move. You give up 7 points, and that's one of the other disadvantages of the new scoring. It's advantage when it works in your favor, but
I think this might be Colton Anderson's first varsity match. He's a sophomore wrestling for Delta. Let's see, this is 157 pounds, brought to you by Pat's Place. I think maybe is this where Dom Villegas has been?
I believe, this is where he's been.
So haven't seen him. I think there's a few wrestlers out sick or injured, and then there's even a couple wrestlers that I know in terms of just touches. They get so many touches during the season, and they've got to preserve them, not go over. We'll see a couple of the wrestlers not wrestle at the North Severe tournament because they have enough touches because they had opportunities for like the Beehive 25 and some other things that kind of took them out of the normal number of matches that they had planned. But
so what do they all have left on their schedule? Let's see, they got another duel this week on Thursday, correct?
Yeah, they're going to North St. Pete, take on the Hawks there. We'll be bringing that to you live on Team Hive Live and Delta Wrestling on YouTube. Then on Friday and Saturday, they'll travel to the North Severe tournament, both the varsity and the JV. Next week, a week from today on Tuesday, we'll be back in the Palladium as Delta will host North Severe. And then for another really good, exciting matchup next Thursday, Delta will host Canyon View, who Canyon View has come on over the last few years and really started developing some good teams. And that will conclude the regular season. And then from there, they'll get ready for divisionals. Divisionals will be in Juab on November, I don't know where I'm getting that from, January 31st and February 1st. And with that, Colton Anderson
caught in a cradle and pretty tight, took to his back, just couldn't quite break the hands.
And then we also have State's the 12th and 13th. That's a Wednesday, Thursday, a little different, and it's also going to be in Orem.
I love Richfield, but man, it seems like we're there all the time, so I'm kind of excited for the change to go to Utah County, just for a little break.
Well, the other thing, too, is the tournament will house both a 3A and 6A tournament, and then 4A and 5A will be on Friday and Saturday there. This is Wyatt Harris. He is a sophomore wrestling at,
I think we're at 170.
Yeah. 165. Blue Mountain Dental is a sponsor of this. This is Wyatt Harris' first varsity match as a sophomore. Last year he wrestled with the junior high, and I don't remember. He got third last year at the junior high tournament. He's wrestling for Carson Nilsson, who didn't have a very good day at the dentist yesterday.
Oh, really?
He came into my class. I'm like, what's wrong? And it took me a minute to be able to understand him. They had him so numbed up and stuff, but I think he's feeling the after effects of that. But I expect to see Carson on Thursday as Wyatt Harris is able to get out of that pinning combination. 52 seconds to go. He trails 13-2 and now in real trouble.
But anyway, good for him. First time to come out of the tunnel, get a run around the mat with the team and the bright lights. Things you don't really forget as a wrestler.
No.
So good for him.
Every time these kids come out here, I think of the highs and the lows, but they're all good memories of being able to wrestle for Delta. Gabe Villegas is the senior from Delta. This is 175 pounds. This is brought to you by Blue Mountain Dental. We appreciate them sponsoring 2 of our weights. And he's taking on Deegan Leatham of Millard. Leatham is a junior out of Millard. Qualified for the state tournament but did not place, which I think is pretty much the same as Gabe, who also qualified last year but did not place. No, we didn't get those 2 quick swipes on.
Right, where was ours?
So 2-point reversal for Millard. So Villegas of Delta leads 3-2 as Millard looks to cradle. You know, when someone tries to cradle, you reach back on that head. That's about a 50-50 of where you're going to pull them over and they're just going to hurt you with it. So 30 seconds to go in the first period. Gabe Villegas of Delta trails 3-4 as he looks to grab a leg and face him. Drives into it. Millard attempts to stuff the head. Comes to his feet. Double off, double off. He goes head hunting. He goes head hunting. He's got it just right forward. There we go, there we go.
The 2-point reversal, see if we
Pulling
get
back.
a near fall.
Hey, you know, we didn't get the near fall, but man, great reversal.
Good, that puts him back up on top and 5-4 to end the period. Millard's going to elect to choose down.
And just if you're looking at the scoreboard, we're actually at the 175-pound weight class and not the 166. Villegas does a good job breaking him down, gathering that arm and barring it up. Loses the bar a little bit. Has a half. Sorry to get high. Oh, is he able to capitalize? Oh, not quite there.
Oh.
So close. Does he have a half in? He should. If he has a half in, he's close.
Has to reach over and lift the chin.
Nope, he doesn't have the
turn
half.
other way.
But he did a good job riding through that, which I thought he maybe could have got caught, which is always kind of dangerous right there. He's going to move to the power half. But now out of position, now to watch out, got to watch out. Okay, trailing by 1, reversal, but this is where he was about this time in the first period, so he has a chance to get up and get his own escape or reversal. Comes to his feet. Tied 6-6. 16 seconds to go. Oh no! Needs to give that up.
Down now.
Oh,
waited maybe a half second too long.
He's saved by the belly a little bit.
Well, but he did give him 2 near falls, so. Whoops.
Yeah. It's been a close match most of the time. I'm going to be honest, though. This is the most calm I've been in a 175-pound match in 2 years.
Well, I think everyone in the gym was. You might be a little bit more just because he was your kid, but.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Campbell, he made it entertaining for sure. Didn't matter how the whole match went. If Delta was killing or losing or anything, you were going to get your entertainment when Campbell came out and was wrestling. Oh, no. Trying to get a switch, not able to do it. Now he's in big trouble. You know, and that was a match that, you know, it was pretty even until right towards the end of that second period. So Gabe Villegas, the senior, doing a good job until he's frustrated with the outcome because he knows that he had a chance. Delta's going to forfeit 190, knowing at that weight. 190 is sponsored by Delta Jubilee, so even though we don't have a match, we still want to thank them for their support. Okay. 215 pounds, Anthony Suarez. This is sponsored by RSL Transport. He's taking on Gael Gutierrez. I went and talked to the coaches because I believe he's a sophomore. We didn't have a record on him. But last year, he didn't make the depth charts for Millard. He was third in the lineup. But then after state, well, he went to the state junior varsity tournament and took first. And then after that went to Virginia and wrestled and got All-American status at that tournament. So he's a good wrestler. Anthony Suarez, man, he's a kid. I'm so glad he came out for wrestling. Tried to do it last year, got into a car wreck, wasn't able to. But just a good, strong kid who, he's going to help the team.
He is, and he just has so much fight in him. He never quits. He's just one of those, when he learns which way to fall a few more times, he's going to be really good. And like I said, has a legitimate shot at being in the top 6, placing at state.
Yeah, I mean, he's strong enough and aggressive enough that good things are going to happen. And like right there, he just needs to put his hand on the gym floor, and I think that would have stopped it. But that's just also, again, being aware, like the official, can stop it if it's in there. But that's a good kid. He has a move that hopefully Anthony will watch that and get some film on understanding what happened. So every time I see him wrestle, I see improvement. It's just that mat time that he's lacking.
What grade is he in?
He's a senior.
He is a senior.
We got Chase Nilsson, who's a freshman. He's wrestling junior high that he's going to be helping. We've got Corbin Curtis, who's an 8th grader, who's going to be one of those big kids. And Allen, there's Allen again. Allen's one of those fun wrestlers that good things can happen whenever he's on the mat. He's taking on Race Adams. Race plays 4th last year at the state tournament. Now, I mean, it's just hard when you've got those big boys on you and on the bottom. But Allen's going to make good things happen for us, both this year and then all the way up. I mean, you got to remember, he's a freshman, and even though he's wrestling heavyweight, he is not a full-size heavyweight.
My favorite part about him is he's not afraid to go try big moves on big kids.
Yeah.
Like, he goes and love it. It's going to work for me or not. I'm going to send it, and more than not, it actually works out for him. So.
Yeah, so he's fun, and he and Cole Bailey go back and forth in the wrestling room, and they're just making each other better each and every week. So
better get your sponsorship out of for that last match.
Yeah, let me get that in there. Of course, I want to thank IHC White Sage Clinic for sponsoring that 205-pound weight class. But still not the result that Delta hopes for. But I think that we're seeing the corner where it's going to be turned, and Delta, the future's bright, no matter how you look at it. We look at the kids who are here. We look at the freshmen that are coming in. And then you look down at the junior high program, the Little League program. There's just a lot of good things that are happening.
Exactly. Team score doesn't show it, but, man, they were absolutely phenomenal wrestlers. They wrestled our tough kids, but that's the difference. Freshmen versus seniors sometimes, it makes a very big difference, especially in those middle weights where not a lot you can do about it.
And if you look at that, I mean, they're going to have a lot of these kids, graduating some of their bigger studs, and I mean, they're always obviously going to recharge with some other kids, but they're a good class, and Millard's not just a good 2A team; they're just a good team in Utah.
They are as solid as depth through 14 weights as again, like we said, the top 3 or 4 teams in the state. They're as good as any of them in the state of Utah this year. So good luck to them. Hopefully they continue their season, which, again, let's face it, I don't know there's anyone in 2A that's going to really even make a dent on them at the state tournament. But
Beaver last year had a good group of kids, and they had some hopes of trying to make it happen. They graduated a lot out, and I just don't see anyone even giving them a run for their money as they go in. So good luck to Millard. Appreciate their faithful coming over to Delta, being here at the Palladium. Again, Delta, we had kind of a big break with Christmas and not a lot of action the week or two after. Now we're into it. Thursday, we're traveling to North St. Pete. Friday and Saturday, we'll be at the North Sevier tournament. Tuesday, again here at the Palladium to take on North Sevier, followed by again here in the Palladium on Thursday of next week to take on the Canyon View in our senior night and our final home duel. From there, we go to the divisional tournament in Juab, and I don't know, do you know this? Do you know if they're doing it in the Hive or the gym?
It'll be in the Hive. Last I was told it was in the Hive. Yes.
Which, a neat facility. I think seating will be a little bit of a struggle. We still want to see the Delta there, but we'll just get there early and
just
get a
seat.
Don't
move once you get one.
And then are they planning on wrestling on both sides of the Hive?
I believe it's on both sides and then they're supposed to be putting bleachers up in the grass area in the middle. So there's supposed to be more seating than normal, but it still is not going to be a lot of seating.
Well, I know one way we could fix that.
Host it here?
Host it here at the Palladium. So that's January 31st, February 1st, and then from there, Delta will go on to the state tournament February 12th and 13th. And as I look at this lineup of everyone who wrestled tonight, I think all these kids who wrestled varsity could make it to the state tournament. Then I start looking at the JV, and I think all, if not most of them that are in the JV are could get to that state tournament as well. Taking 8 in each weight, and they'll wrestle the 8 that come from the other division.
Right, and that's what to me. And obviously, I know a lot of the Juab kids, and we talk to them a lot, and they're the most excited about this state meet than they've been in 3 or 4 years too, because they know they're favored, but they know they're not guaranteed, and that's the thing. Delta could sneak in there and be a real top contender, at least second, third place with this many people placing. And, there's not a guaranteed in 3A this year. And like I said, South Summit, a lot of big weights, but they don't have a lot of lower weights. Canyon View, a lot of bigger weights, but not a lot of lower weights. It's not a guaranteed anywhere across 3A this year. It's going to make for a really, really fun divisional and then a state finals meet. So,
and the other thing that, just happens is the way that you win. You get pins. If we can have a pin-heavy tournament, that does so much. I think that was the advantage for Delta last week at the Tinnick tournament. We only had half our team there, the other half at the Rumble. But those who went to the Tinnick tournament, we had, some 1A schools, but there were some 5A schools there. And the reason that they ended up winning it is because they had pins in those middle rounds.
Bonus point victories.
Yeah, because what is it? You get a point if you win and a point and a half if you get a
point and a half for a tech
and a 2 points
for a pin.
Yeah, so you double what you get for a pin, and that's like wrestling 2 matches and just winning and what it can do. So the teams that will be at the division tournament in Juab this year, we're lined up with Juab and Morgan and Delta, North St. Pete, Richfield, Carbon, Summit Academy, and Juan Diego. So we know Juab's going to get a lot of their kids in. Morgan will as well. North St. Pete, they have a handful of good
they're
wrestlers.
A handful of really good
wrestlers.
But they don't have any depth anywhere else.
So they're not going to have a lot to get in. Richfield, they
got 2 that are pretty competitive and lacking quite a bit after that.
Yeah, if we look at Richfield last year, they only had 1 that placed at the state tournament. North St. Pete, they had 5. Morgan had a lot. They had, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids who all placed at the state tournament.
Wow, I didn't realize they had that many kids last year. Wow.
So they'll get those in. Carbon, not as strong, but their 106-pounder, he's a contender.
He is.
For sure.
I think him and the Juab kid are the 2 that I don't think anyone's going to really – well, I don't know. Kyler wrestled the Carbon kid over to Richfield. And, he got major decision, but, there was 1 or 2 moves away from being right there in the match. So,
and there's always a kid that, is picked to win it, and someone beats him. We can even look at the match tonight where, we had a kid who was well in hand, and all of a sudden you get caught on your back and they score a lot of points, or maybe they even get a fall in there. Carbon, I don't think they had anyone placed last year, but they've got that 106.
Greenhall from 106, yeah.
Yeah, Summit Academy, they didn't have anyone, and Juan Diego. So with who we lined up with, I think we actually lined up pretty well at the division tournament to be able to have kids place in the division tournament, but not just that, but place high in the different division tournament.
Is important because that helps our seed for the next weekend of the state meet.
Yeah, the 1 seed will take on the 8 seed from the other division. If we look over to the other side, Division A, they have South Summit, Union, Canyon View, Emory, Grantsville, Ben Lomond, Manti, Ogden, and Providence Hall. So as we look in there, Canyon View, they're coming with a lot of really good kids. They have a few kids last year that were state finalists and high state placers. Emory, they always have a few good kids. They're returning 5 state placers. And then South Summit, they're just loaded with 9 state placers, probably 4 that I think could be in the finals.
For sure. I mean, you got to count Boger at 285. I mean, he hasn't lost yet this year. They got, let's see, you
got Pulver, who took first last year. He took first as a freshman and then third last year as a sophomore.
So but again, and that's what the nice thing for us about, we don't have to worry about South Summit for Delta, is we don't really line up very well. The kids, the weights that they're stacked up in is our weights that we're hoping to place, but outside shots of placing.
Well, you go back to our dual tournament against them. It was close. They ended up edging us out there at the end. And there was maybe a match that I can think of that, Delta probably should have won and didn't. Had they won that would have probably flipped the dual results in there. But that's exactly it, how we line up. Well, I appreciate you being with us here, Zach. You're always welcome to come up here and throw on the headset.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the invite, man. I enjoyed myself. And are you going over Thursday to broadcast?
Yeah, we'll be there. So we appreciate all of you being here on Team Hive Live and Delta Wrestling on YouTube. Continue to subscribe. We're looking to get 500 subscribers here before the division tournament. If it does, it's going to open up some features for us that's going to make the viewing experience better for our viewers. So thanks for all that you do, and everyone have a good night.